Good day. So today I'm going to discuss about Python lists. So here I will discuss you how to manipulate lists in Python. So we have here the content flow. First, we have to understand the lists and how to manipulate the lists. And, kung naka-remember mo before, we discussed about I introduced advanced data type. So I have here list, tuple, dict, set, frozen set, bytes, byte array, and memory view. Now we're going to discuss list first. So what is a list? So a read and write collection of variables that may be used to sort certain data. Here in a list, we can manipulate lists. So it's either to sort those lists, how to sort, like arrange or insert, or gonna delete it, or I'm gonna insert it in the very beginning, or in the very first part of an array, or last part of the variable, something like that. I mean the last part of the value or the first part of the value, or we can insert it in the middle part of the value. We can also delete it, and we can also edit it, and so on. Okay, we have to discuss those. But now here, how to create a list. So we have here the syntax. Identifier is equals to bracket value, the value 1 and another value 2. So for example, identifier is also a variable. So for example, naatay courses dili nga identifier, iyang value is BSIT, BSCES, and BSCOE, or COMING. So for example, I'm gonna open the PyCharm, create of Python fine. Then lists. Okay. So here atong create ni courses, sample ka na, is equals to katong bracket, and then BSIT, separate nato sila with comma, another value which is BSCS, then separate another comma, then another value which is BSCOE, something ana kani. Unlike if ever man gani, kung dili ta maglist, ang mahitabuan na is, let's say, course, sample niya, of course 1 is equals to BSIT. So yan yung mahitabo, first one. Dapat manggod ang variable dili magpareha, so gonna make it 2, and then this one you gonna make it 3. So kani mahimo siyang BSCS and then BSCOE, something like that. So kani siya is the same with this, pero mas shorten ni, and kani mas hassle, taas siya. So dili ka na atoong gamiton. Okay, kani. Now how to print courses. So how to print? Okay, reading whole lists. So you can read a list by printing the whole list. So this is the syntax, print and then the list. Okay, for example, you can write print and then the value which is courses. Kana ang variable akong gi-call. So if ato ning i-run, ang iyang output is value sa atong variable. Unsa may mga value ni courses? We have BSIT, BSCS, and BSCOE. So right click and run lists. So we have here BSIT, BSCS, and BSCOE. What if walay mga, ang ganahan is, what if ganahan ko walay mga bracket, like that. So how to read? So you can read a list by printing one of the items inside it by using an index. So we have here syntax is print, and then list, and then open and close parenthesis nga list, then naa siya bracket na pod nga index. So example, list, and then bracket. So nakabutang dali index. So sa man ang index, mara siya og silbi murag mo na siya container sa mga value. So this one is 0, this is 1, this is 2. So pareha na siya og PHP. Okay, tawag ana sa PHP is array. Here sa kaan na sa array na ay mga index. So mag-start na siya 0, 1, and 2. So if naka-try mo PHP, makarelate mo ani. But then if first timer mo ang index is mag-start to siya 0 and then 1 and then 2. For example, 0. Okay, so if ato siyang i-run, yeah, wrong. List. Ay, sorry. It's not list. It's courses. Ana, course siya. Courses ang ibatang dari which is atong variable. So, iyang value nga si 0, iyang ipagawas. So, sa index dere, kani may 0, so BSIT ang mo gawas. This one, BSIT. So, if ganahan ko, nako ipagawas lain. Ganahan ko 2, then of course, ang mo run si PSCOE. If akong i-run dere is 3, so may tabo. So, list index out of range is because 2 raman siya kutob. It's 0, 1, and 2. Walay 3. So, it's error. Pero, iya ipagawa si 0 which is PSIT. Doon. Next. So, what is index? So, it's the number of where an item is on a collection. So, for example, diba, akong courses is BSIT. For example, akong course is BSIT, then BSCS, BSCOE. So, here sa index, we have the positive index and we have also the negative index. Sa positive index, we have 0, which is BSIT, 1, which is BSCS, and 2 is BSCOE. If negative mo, then gonna use negative 3, BSIT, negative 2, BSCS, then negative 1, BSCOE. But if atong dugangan ni like ang value aning atong courses atong butang aglaing value after sa BSCOE like BS Ed daw ko natin butang dere. Let's say BS Ed ko no dere. Sa mahitabo kanina po mahimong negative 1, kanina po siya mahimong 2, kanina po mahimong 3, and kanina po mahimong 4. Like that. If atong dugangan og another value na po ni si courses. For example, negative 3. Kani, 1, 2, 3. So, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Ang magawas, 2 ka BSIT. Kay kaning positive index, ang 0 diri is PSIT. So, ang mahitabo, 0, 1, 2. Kung ato pa dugangan diri, so mahimo siyang 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ana. Pero, kung mag-negative siya, ang atong right side na naka-start, always yun siyang negative 1. So, ang iyang tapat is negative 2, negative 3. If dugangan pa dyan, negative 4, negative 5, then and so on, ana siya. But here, ang atong i-print, for example, 3. Ay, wala ito. Say 2. Ang una niyang i-print is BSCOE. Kaya ang positive index is 0, 1, 2, which is the BSCOE. Kaning negative index, which is negative 3, ang negative index dire, ang negative 3 dire is BSIT. So, nag-start dire always as negative 1. So, negative 1, negative 2, then negative 3. So, ang may tabo, ang output ani is BSCOE o PSIT. So, gonna run this one here, BSCOE and PSIT. Ay siya. Next. So, you have reading lists range. So, you can read a list's range of items by specifying a range of index. So, we have here the syntax. Print, then list, open and close, and then I list. Under that, napot siya bracket ng start index, colon, and then end index. So, which means, ang value na to mag-start, iyang ang ga-start nga index iyang i-read, and then ang pinakalas is ang nag-end na index. Second one is print, then list, open and close, bracket ay open and close parenthesis, and then inside is list, and then bracket na pod, then colon, and then end index, which means, kaning colon, kung unsa nga number ang atong gibutang, for example, so colon in end index, which means magbutang kag value until the end sa index ang iyang ipagawas. Kani siya is bali. If magbutang ta og 3, example, value, which means natas tunga-tunga, let's say 3. So iyang buhat iya ipa-view is ang start index until 3 na siya. Later on later on we will have an example this for more discussions and information. So note, end index item is excluded. So this one, for example, we're gonna start with print list and start index and index. Example here, ato siyang dugangan ha, og BS ed kano ani gana use the lists niya is courses ni ang iyang variable dayon asa man nag-start 1 nag-end og 3 kana, which means iyang index is 1 mag-end og 3 kisa may 1 dere BSCS kisa 3 BSED. So iyang i-view is BSCS, BSCOE og BSED. So run na to ni, so BSC. For example, iyang value is 1 to 3. So we have start index is 1, ang iyang end index is 3. Okay. 1 mag-start siya og 1 asa may 1 dere, so 0 1 which is BSCS. Iyang 3 supposed to be is BSEN. So kani siya may 0 1 2 and 3, pero iyang 3 is BSEN. Ang magawas ani is only BSCS and BSOE. Why? We have note here, end index item is excluded. Which means, kung si kinsa mong gibutang diri, ang kisa maganda mong gibutang diri nga value sa end item or end index, dili niya na i-appeal. So, for example here, 1 and 3 raman. Which means, index 1 to index 3. So, supposed to be, kung atong lantawon, ang mogawas unta is BSCS, BSCO, o BSED. Dapat kay 1, index 1, and index 3, 2, index 3. So, index 1 until index 3 unta iya ipagawas. But we have note here that end index item is excluded. So, may tabo ani, kani ika 3, di siya ka-appeal. So, which means, ang output ani is only BSCS and BSCOE. Pero kani sa BSED, dili na siya. So, ang moran ani is 1. So, here, BSCS ug si BSCOE. Next is we have end index. Example, 2. So, which means, mag-end siya ni 2, pero mag-start 2 siya mag-end. Supposed to be atong 2 is BSCOE. BSIT ang mugawa. Ang iyang output is BSIT siya mag-start, BSCS, and then mag-end unta ni dere. Pero here sa note nga end index item is excluded, ang may tabo aning ang ma-output niya is BSIT and BSCS because index 2 is not included. So if you're gonna run it, so it's BSIT and BSCS. Another is we have start index. Let's see, di na po ko mag 2. So asa man ang 2 dere, 0 1 2. So, mag-start siya ni BSCOE, mag-end siya ni dere, ang pinaka-last nga value which is BSN. So, if magbutang ko dere, glain, like BS, cream, kana. So, may tabo ani, mag-start ko gapon ni 2. So, 0, 1, 2. So, di ko mag-start BSCOE, then iyang output si BSN o si BS cream. Which means, kani iyang ga-start, mag-end siya abot sa last value. Ang may tabo ani, ako i-run, sorry, BSCOE, BSED, and BS cream. Right siya. Next is we have assigning list item. So you can assign a list item by using an index and an assignment operator. Ang atong assignment operator is equal sign. We have here the syntax which is list, then bracket, index is equals to value. For example, list. Ang atong index is a number, diba? We have a positive index and we have the negative index. Don't forget that one. For example, list 0 is equals to BSED. Here, atong i-edit. Course, atong list din, no? Courses, dayon, iyahong array, say 0 is equals to BSED. Which means, kaning si 0 ma-change into BSED. Kisa may 0 dere. So, kaning si BSIT, mahimo siyang BSED. Akong dugangan pa jud. Ganahan ko ma-change na pod BS Pharma. 3. So, which means, si index 3, ma-change into BS Pharma. Kisa may ika-3 dire. So, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So, si BS Ed, mahimong BS Pharma. Kaning BS IT, mahimong BS Ed. If ato siyang i-display, like, print, and then, courses, which is the variable, right-click, look, 0, which is the BS Ed. Kaya ito naman siyang i-change. Then, BSCS, BSCOE, then BS Pharma, which is index 3, and then BS Cream. So, that's how we assign value from the array. That one. Or from the index. Okay. Next, we have the list length. So, you can check the number of items in a list by using the len function. You say len, shortcut is siya sa length. So, you have here the syntax, len, and then list. If ato ni siyang i-run, len, which is the length of isa may ngalan sa list, courses. So, may kuan. Ang output ani is, iyang ihapon, pila kabuk ang sulod sa iyang mga index. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 kabuok data. So, 5 iyang i-run. Wala. Bugo. Sayup. So, to display the length, we have to use the print syntax. Di man siya magawas pag di na ito i-print. Natural, pagkamitan na ito ang print. We have here 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, we have list count. So, you can count how many times an item occurs in a list by using the count function. So, if ever duwang atong BSCS and iya i-count, pila ang value sa BSCS. Ato dagana ng CS. Kani kay bias tag CS. Ang daganan. So, ang may tabuan list, and then count, and then value. List, we have courses dot count, and unsang value. Ganaan ko iyang ihapon si BSCS. It's a string. It's a trial and error gyapon. So, iyang ihapon pila ang BSCS at ihapon daan. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 Japon. Ato Japon dugangan o dagan. 6, 7. So, 6, 7. So, if ato siyang i-run. So, here, na 7. Kay 7 makabog. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Na iyang ihapon pila kabog BSCS. It's 7. Next, list add items by append. So, it adds append adds an item at the end of the list. So, muna ang syntax, list that append, then value. I'm gonna try. For example, I'm gonna delete this one, and I'm gonna delete this one too. So, I'm gonna use the list that append. List that append. So, may ating append sa man nga value ang atong i-add BS Mari. So, atong i-print ang list, which is the courses. So, right click and then run. It's wrong. Yan. So, dapat it's not list. It's a same name sa list. It's courses. Na siya ipatay run na si Mari na asa last. What if ma-insert ko in between dere, like dili siya ma-insert sa last, so itong gamiton. So, list add items by insert function. So, insert adds an item at a specified index. We have the list syntax, list that insert, and then iyang index, and then the value. Practical example is list that insert, then 2, which is index, and then DSN, which is the value. For example, ito, list. What is the name of the list? We have the courses that insert. Unsa man nato i-insert? Unsa nga value? Let's say, value number 2. Pila, unsa man si value number 2? Sa may mga courses. BSE. BSCE. Sorry. 1. So, which means, kaning index number 2, which means, kaning BSCE, mo insert sa index number 2. Asa may number 3? 0, 1, kani, 2. Which means, after ni BSCS, mo insert si BSCE. BSIT, BSCS, and BSCE. Usa ang BSCOE. So, right run. Here, BSIT, BSCS, dayan, BSCE. Ara, ni-insert siya. Usa nag BSCOE. That one. Next is how to delete items by remove. So, this will be the last. Actually, we have more discussion about list. But we have to practice first the first batch of manipulating list. So this will be the last. So list deleting items by remove. So removes function deletes an item based on their value. We have here the syntax, list that remove, and then the value. So practical example is list that remove and then BS add. Sample. What is the list that remove? Ano ang gusto nating i-remove dito? Sample lang. BS add na. So, gonna print first para makita natin. Okay, print the list. Right click. And then run. Then, as you can see, wala nang BS add. It's only BSIT, BSCS, BSCOE, and BS cream. Hindi yan ginit ang BS add. I will create another video for part 2 sa list. As of now, please practice all those topic na itong discuss ano nga video. Okay, so that's all for today. I'm gonna have a part 2 for the list later. As of now, please practice all these topics and ipa-check rapod na ako later if magkita na to. And I guess this one is very easy naman po. So, see you in the next video. Bye, everyone!